Have you ever wondered how some people possess a remarkable sense of wisdom? How they can stay calm in chaos, make brilliant decisions under pressure, and always seem to know the right thing to say, or not say at all? It's not magic, and it's not simply good genes. It's ancient wisdom, Stoic wisdom, that you too can master. Imagine the power of seeing beyond the obvious, controlling your emotions, and influencing others through the quiet strength of your ideas. Sound impossible? It's not. Today I'm revealing 9 Stoic secrets that will transform your mind into a fortress of wisdom. Stay with me until the end, and I promise these timeless techniques will change how you navigate the world. Lesson 1: The power of inner silence. Let's begin with something simple but powerful, the concept of inner silence. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting, and frustration is creeping in. Your heart races, and you begin to feel the panic rising. This is a scenario we've all faced. But here's the truth. In that moment, the chaos around you isn't the problem, it's your reaction to it. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that. The world can be loud and chaotic, full of unexpected obstacles, but the way you respond to those obstacles is entirely within your control. When you react with frustration, you lose control over the situation and waste precious energy. But when you cultivate inner silence, you maintain your composure and approach the problem with clarity. Take that moment in traffic. Instead of letting your frustration boil over, use it as a chance to practice this silence. Breathe deeply, feel the tension in your body and consciously release it. Remember, you can't control the traffic, but you can control how you handle it. When you focus on what you can control, you find clarity. This silence doesn't mean inaction. It means mindful action, acting from a place of strength and purpose. Inner silence isn't about staying quiet, it's about staying calm. It's about creating space in your mind, even in the most stressful of situations, so you can approach each challenge with wisdom and thoughtfulness. Over time, practicing this will transform how you face adversity. Lesson 2: The wisdom of keeping secrets now. Let's talk about another form of silence, the silence of keeping certain things to yourself. We live in an age of oversharing. Social media encourages us to broadcast our every thought, our every plan. But the Stoics understood something profound. Not everything should be shared. Some things, your dreams, your vulnerabilities, your innermost thoughts, are best kept close. Epictetus, another great Stoic, taught us this. Not everyone deserves to know what's in your heart. Let that sink in for a moment. There's wisdom in keeping your inner world protected, in not laying bare every ambition or doubt. This isn't about being secretive or dishonest. It's about being discerning. Some people won't understand your vision, or worse, they might try to tear it down. By keeping your plans and vulnerabilities private, you maintain your strength and integrity. Think of your personal ambitions like seeds. If you plant them too early in the open, they're vulnerable to being trampled on before they've had a chance to take root. But if you nurture them in the right environment, away from judgment and negativity, they can grow strong and flourish. This doesn't mean you should never share your dreams with anyone, but choose wisely. Trust only those who genuinely care about your success and well-being. Protecting your inner world is an act of self-respect and wisdom, allowing you to maintain focus and composure as you work towards your goals. Lesson 3: The quiet greatness of humility. As we move forward, let's explore humility, one of the core principles of Stoicism. In today's world, it often feels like success needs to be shouted from the rooftops. We're bombarded with images of people flaunting their achievements, seeking validation from others. But the Stoics teach us something different. True greatness doesn't need applause. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." The idea here is simple. Your actions should speak for themselves. You don't need to boast about your achievements or demand recognition. Instead, let the quality of your work and the integrity of your character do the talking. Imagine a master craftsman who has spent years honing his skill. He doesn't need to announce his expertise. His work speaks for itself. Each piece he creates is a testament to his dedication, his quiet pursuit of excellence. This is what the Stoics meant by quiet greatness. Your accomplishments don't need to be shouted. They will be recognized in time, and if they aren't, what truly matters is that you know your own worth. When you focus on inner development and continuous improvement, the external validation becomes less important. You'll find that you are more content with the journey itself rather than the accolades that may or may not come. Humility is not about diminishing yourself. It's about recognizing that your worth does not depend on the opinions of others. Lesson 4. The silence of gossip. Now, let's talk about another kind of silence, one that's often harder to maintain, the silence in conversations. We live in a society that thrives on gossip, on idle talk, on criticism. It's all too easy to get pulled into discussions about others, their shortcomings, their mistakes. But the Stoics warn us against this. Epictetus once said, "First learn to be silent, then learn to speak as needed." Think about the time we waste on pointless conversations about other people's lives. This isn't just a waste of time, it's a drain on your energy and your focus. When you engage in gossip or criticism, you're taking time away from improving yourself, from growing, from working towards your own goals. Instead of focusing on the flaws of others, turn your attention inward. What can you improve about yourself? What areas of your life need more focus and attention? This is what the Stoics called mindfulness before it became a buzzword. It's about being fully present, fully engaged in your own journey, not distracted by the noise of others' lives. By choosing silence when others gossip, you set yourself apart. You become someone who values growth over judgment, action over words. In doing so, you also inspire others to rise above petty conversations. You create an atmosphere of respect and integrity both for yourself and for those around you. Lesson 5. Action speaks louder than words. The next form of silence we'll discuss is the silence of action. We've all met people who talk a big game but never follow through. In contrast, the Stoics believed that actions, not words, define a person. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." In other words, don't waste time talking about what you're going to do. Just do it. There's a tendency to announce our goals and ambitions to the world as if doing so will make them real. But the Stoics understood that talking about your plans can sometimes create a false sense of accomplishment. When you tell others about your goals, you might feel as though you've already achieved something, when in reality, you haven't done anything yet. So what's the Stoic approach? Focus on action. Keep your goals to yourself until you've made significant progress. Let your results speak for themselves. This doesn't mean you have to be secretive, but it means you should guard your energy and attention, investing it in real work rather than in seeking premature validation. Imagine you're working on a new business idea or a personal project. If you talk about it too early, you risk inviting opinions that can derail your focus, or worse, you might feel satisfied with simply having shared your idea. But if you remain silent, dedicated to the process, you keep all your energy directed towards the work itself. Then, when you finally reveal what you've created, it stands as a testament to your discipline and dedication. Lesson 6. Doing good without expecting recognition. Let's move to another key Stoic principle, the idea of doing good without expecting recognition. This is a tough one for many people, especially in the age of social media, where we're constantly sharing our accomplishments, our good deeds, our charitable acts. But the Stoics remind us that true virtue doesn't need an audience. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, said, "The reward of a good deed is having done it." In other words, the act of doing good is its own reward. If you do something kind, something generous, don't do it for the praise or recognition. Do it because it's the right thing to do. The moment we start seeking external validation for our good deeds, we dilute the purity of the action. We're no longer doing it out of kindness or virtue. We're doing it for the applause. But Stoicism teaches us that virtue is intrinsic. It comes from within and does not depend on others' approval. Imagine the difference between someone who donates quietly and someone who makes a show of their generosity. One seeks to help others, the other seeks recognition. The true Stoic understands that the former is the path to true fulfillment. When you do good for the sake of goodness itself, you nurture a deep sense of peace and satisfaction that no amount of external praise can match. Lesson 7. Protecting your vulnerabilities. Now let's talk about protecting your vulnerabilities. In today's world, we often hear that it's good to be vulnerable, to open up and share our weaknesses. While there is merit to being honest about your flaws, the Stoics teach us to be selective about what we share and with whom. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, reminded us that our minds should be like a fortress, impenetrable by outside forces. This means recognizing your vulnerabilities, but also protecting them. Not everyone should have access to the most delicate parts of your inner world. By keeping certain things to yourself, you maintain control over your mental and emotional state. There's a fine line between acknowledging your weaknesses and exposing them to the point where they can be used against you. The Stoics believe that true strength comes from turning those vulnerabilities into strengths, but doing so quietly, without fanfare. If you know you struggle with anxiety, for example, work on managing it internally rather than broadcasting it to the world. By maintaining this form of silence, you preserve your dignity and your power. You don't give others the chance to undermine you or exploit your weaknesses. Instead, you quietly work on yourself, transforming your vulnerabilities into resilience. Lesson 8. The strength in stillness. Now let's talk about stillness. In a world that is constantly in motion, the Stoics found power in stillness. Seneca said, "Silence is a companion to wisdom." In those moments of quiet, when the world slows down, we can reconnect with our innermost selves, with our true thoughts, values, and desires. Stillness is not just about being physically quiet. It's about creating mental and emotional space for reflection. When you embrace stillness, you give yourself the opportunity to step back from the noise of life, to reflect on what truly matters, and to realign with your purpose. This is something we often overlook in our fast-paced society. We're always moving, always connected, always doing. But the Stoics knew that true wisdom comes from stepping away from that chaos. It's in the stillness that we find clarity. It's in the quiet moments that we truly grow. Lesson 9. The silence of dreams. Finally, let's talk about the silence of dreams. The Stoics believed in guarding your dreams. They knew that sharing your aspirations too soon could expose them to doubt, criticism, and negativity. Seneca once said, "The greatest danger to life is putting off our hopes for tomorrow, ignoring the present." Dreams are delicate, and if we share them too early, they can be trampled by the skepticism of others. Instead, the Stoics advised us to keep our dreams close, to nurture them quietly, and to work on them diligently without the need for outside validation. This doesn't mean you should never share your dreams, but do so only when they're strong enough to stand on their own. In the meantime, let your actions speak louder than your words. Keep your dreams safe and allow them to grow in the silence, away from the distractions and doubts of others. As you can see, the power of silence runs through every aspect of Stoicism. Whether it's the inner silence that keeps you calm in chaos, the silence of keeping your plans and dreams close, or the stillness that allows you to reconnect with your deepest values, silence is a source of immense strength. By embracing these 9 Stoic lessons, you will not only become smarter, you will become more resilient, more focused, and more aligned with your true self. If these Stoic principles resonate with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Let me know in the comments which lesson speaks to you the most. Remember, true wisdom begins with silence. Start practicing it today.